first out of the red corner, scaling in at 76.6 kilograms, or 168 pounds, having 14 wins, 3 losses, 8 by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the land of the long white cloud, the Tongan warrior, Vick Kulu. The Japanese contender standing at 76.6 kilograms, or 168 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. The Japanese contender, fight record 23, no losses, 10 by way of KO. From the land of the rising sun, the bonsai warrior, Taiei.
Welcome to the Darling Harbour Convention Centre, Sydney, Australia, and this is World Kickboxing at its best. The cruiserweight division about to get underway here with Taiei and Rick Kulu, and with me I have Dale Floyd, the president of the WKA, with me in commentary. And Dale, I know you're going to be looking forward to a great evening of kickboxing.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing Rick Kulu fight. I saw him do an exhibition about 3 months ago, and it looks like he's back in shape after his retirement.
Dale, also with us is Bob Jones, our kickboxing expert, the father of kickboxing here in Australia. We welcome you too, Bob.
Thanks, Dale. Bob, you've been watching Rick Kulu's career right from the beginning.
He's been around since kickboxing began. Way back in the early 80s he was fighting, and he's been a great attribute to the sport all the way along, as in Alex Taiei. They're both in the same area, and they came here for university courses together. They're very intelligent boys, and Rick Kulu just fights, I think, for the fun of it, because he just really likes to fight, pretty much like Alex Taiei.
Now, does he have boxing experience similar to Alex Taiei?
Same thing. He retired from kickboxing for 5 years, but during that time he continued his boxing career, and he's been as high as number 3 in the WBC here in Australia.
Incredible. That's quite a feat. Right away, the Japanese open it up with the low kick. That's their trademark.
He's putting them out 2 and 3 at a time, too.
Rick Kulu in the blue shorts on the end of a couple of good shots there from the Japanese.
He's realising he's sacrificing some weight. He's going for the leg kicks to keep away from the hands, because Kulu will have much stronger hands. So I guess his strategy is to try and get Kulu off balance. But like Dale said, they do always open up with a lot of leg kicks. So
Rick Kulu and a good left turning kick there, a hold on from Taiei.
You can definitely see Kulu as a superior boxer in this situation.
Japanese boy defending nicely. He's all arms up as soon as the punches come.
Cruiserweight matchup, and only 23 years of age is Taiei, as opposed to the man with the blue shorts, Rick Kulu, at 31 years of age.
So there's quite a weight difference as well as quite an age difference.
Seemingly more kicks going in than punches at this stage.
Yeah, especially from our Japanese contender. And keeping in mind that those low kicks really wear you down after a while. They tire you out and make it hard. Oh, excellent punch there by Kulu. I think that's the idea, is to keep the Japanese contender away, and then he can work his own low kicks.
Into the back there at the end of the first round, but he's okay, hands up in the air, he's got a smile on his face. Well, interesting first round, Bobby Jones. How'd you see that one?
Well, it looks like a master and apprentice, but the apprentice is really working hard to prove himself as an up-and-coming Japanese fighter, but he's fighting a veteran with a lot of experience. But I think maybe the Japanese scored a bit more. The leg kicks aren't a high score, and he certainly put a lot more out that round. So I think, looking at the judges at that, it may have gone 10-9 to the Japanese purely on getting more leg kicks out.
I just noticed in the corner of Rick Kulu is his friend Alex Taiei, the junior middleweight, WKA junior middleweight champion. Both these fighters starting out strong here in the second round.
See a kicks going in. Kick there with the master striking move there from the Japanese.
See the Japanese going for the clinches and really wanting to use his knees because he's normally a knee and elbow fighter and he's been restricted tonight with two of his weapons. You can see that in his eyes. Yeah, no, he wanted to use his knees then. Kulu caught him with a really heavy right hand. No, he's got rid of it. That's the difference between 23 and 33. Exactly. You can see Vick on the stand the corner a bit longer at the end of the first round too.
The right Kulu has the Japanese now with the left front kick.
See the Japanese fighter, hands around the neck there, Darren's going, oh no, I'm not allowed to use my knees tonight.
He looks like he was trying to set up for a knee to the body. And Taiei sort of a contrast in fighting style to Kulu.
Well, he's got all the moves, hasn't he, at the end of round number 2.
I think Vick Kulu scored with some strikes in that round, but took a bit of a toll. There's a couple of right hands got in and a flurry. They were hard to notice because there was kicks and everything flying, but I did notice Vick score with 2, maybe 3 pretty heavy right hands. That may affect the Japanese fighter in the next coming rounds.
Alex Tui working in with the Kulu. Let's take a look at a replay here of Vick Kulu in action against the Japanese. Now here's that lovely turning kick there and around the back of the neck there.
It wasn't quite hard enough to be effective, but if it had connected on the heel, he probably could have hurt Rick with that.
Harbour Convention Centre, Sydney, Australia. Cruiserweight between Rick Kulu and Taiei from Japan.
Kulu's leg is lead leg. Heavy, not quite that.
Heavy shot from Kulu.
A Japanese fighter knows how to chop in close when he's in a clinch. He knows how to get his leg in there and hurt his opponent's lead leg.
Rick Kulu's lead leg is starting to mark up badly there on the side and the rear. The Japanese are supporting him a few times. Rick Mornington to get in, trying to use that front knee. Daniel did their style of fighting with that front knee high to get him with the hands.
And unfortunately for Rick, he's not blocking the low kick, so he just blocked that one. That's to the side on Rick Kulu's part. Oh, excellent. Lead leg in again. Kulu has got that front kick down, if he can keep doing that.
Front kicks there from Kulu, took the toll of the Japanese. Taiei from Japan versus Rick Kulu in the cruiserweight.
Kin just missing with that spin kick. A lot of times the spinning kicks are not effective unless you use it a lot in an emergency situation. One person that does use it very well at a close range is Benny the Jet, Benny Repeated.
That's where he got the name the Jet besides the tunnel jump at the end of every fight, but when he fought in Japan, the jumping spinning kicks earned him the name the Jet. And I believe Jet's fighting again in America shortly.
October 9th in Las Vegas, he'll be fighting a Japanese fighter from the same camp as Taiei Kim.
Rick Kulu once again getting a warning at the end of round number 3.
Apparently the referee is warning. Well, that round, I would definitely say that Rick Kulu is stronger with his hands. He's shown his boxing ability, and he's shown why he was rated so highly in boxing in Australia. But Kin is mercilessly working his legs. I can see that his lead leg has got quite a large bruise on it, and that could make a difference in the later rounds.
Bell's gone for the beginning of round number 4. And here we go. Action from the Darren Harbour Convention Centre in Sydney, Australia.
Big body punch by Rick Kulu, followed by a big front kick by Rick Kulu. So he's got 2 strong scoring points. The Japanese chopping down with that shin kick on the thigh, and he's really marking up Rick Kulu's thigh.
Kulu has to start blocking those kicks to the thigh, or he's going to be in trouble in the later rounds.
Plenty of power into that right hand. Big solid shot there from
Taiei Kim has got a powerful low kick.
Kulu trying the high turning kick there. Failed to connect. Kulu once again going low with a right turning kick, and that one would have hurt too. It caught Kulu on the right chin.
He tried to block it, and it went right through to his back leg. That's a sign of a good low kicker.
I think some of these kicks are taking their toll on Kulu.
They've got to be some of those right leg tries. I mean, right on that lead try.
And Ken is getting him exactly in the same spot every time.
And also, as you do damage that front leg, they were both aware that that's going to take the sting out of Kulu's punches. And he won't be able to place his foot heavily down to bury the weight of his punches.
Exactly. It's like a good boxer using a body shot repeatedly.
Plenty of kicks right in this one. There's the left leg there from Kulu. He comes in with a right cross. Taiei just stands up there and takes the punishment from Kulu.
Now Rick Kulu is limping a little bit on that lead leg. I can see he's favoring it right now.
Plenty of swelling too on both the shins of Kulu.
Definitely this could be a determining factor.
Big shot there. That was the left high kick there from Ken.
Ken younger and smaller, but he's not intimidated in the lead.
Well, he's fighting a very smart fight at the moment for the Japanese. He's got 10 years on him. His opponent's 10 years older and a lot wiser as the bell sounds for the end of round 4. How are you summing things up at this stage, Bob?
Well, they're working very hard in every round break on Rick Kulu's lead leg, and I thought he opened that round very strong with a rear right hand and a front push kick. But from that point on, from the beginning of the round, the Japanese took control of that round. And I think it's due to the fact that he's done damage to Rick's leg. It's taken the sting out of Rick's punches.
Here's a replay here of that left kick, and a little closer and it would have really, really hurt, wouldn't it?
It would have.
There's the bell for round number 5 with this cruiserweight. That is up between Rick Kulu and
Kulu starting out with a good roundhouse. That rear leg roundhouse was powerful.
I think he realizes he didn't do well that last round, so he's coming back with the fight to try and make face this time.
And this is where the ring smarts could come into the picture.
He's very, very experienced fighters. He could even go into a game plan. He may have been giving away a few rounds to come back strong in the end. You don't know what they do when they've had that many fights.
Well, one thing that Kulu has in his favor is the fact that he has been 8, 10, 12 rounds before. Whereas Kenya is used to fighting the Thai fighting style. He's only gone 5 rounds.
Rick Kulu, 14 wins, 2 losses and 8 with a KO, and his opponent Taiei 27 wins, 4 losses with 10 KOs.
And I'm really worried about Rick Kulu's lead leg. He's handling it well. He's covering up any lameness, but it must be hurting.
It's got to be. It looks like he's hitting the leg with a baseball bat.
2 solid shots there. Left turning kicks from Ken. Comes in with a punching now.
Keeping in mind that kicks above the waist counts more than kicks below the waist.
Handwork involved in this particular brawl at the moment. It's plenty of kicking in the sea. He's copying Petty Kulu on the left side of the thigh.
It's got to the point where his thigh looks like raw hamburger.
Well, it looks dreadful, doesn't it, at this stage?
He's making no attempt to check either. I think so. Rick's trying to really flatten that leg, and he can't even get his checks down now. He's just the best he can to keep his weight on that leg. Look at that leg stiffening out now.
Just after the first few times he was hit there, it's hard to kick.
That's it. He's not even checking at all now. So I think he's still getting forward with him.
Taiei doing well in round 5 as the bell sounds, and we've got a good contest on our hands here.
I think the big problem for Rick is that he's losing power in his both hands because he can't support his body weight correctly as a boxer to get those punches off now. They've lost power and he's not allowing the Japanese as much as he was early.
Taiei Ken seems to be getting stronger with each consecutive round. Excellent rear leg roundhouse kick by Ken. Followed up with a low kick. The Ken is definitely coming on strong now. I think he realizes now in his senses that he can take this fight if he keeps working that lead leg.
I mean, we can all see what's going on with that lead leg there. If it happened to the face, we'd check it.
Yeah, well, at the level that we're at, we can see it quite well. From ringside, the referee, of course, is looking at from the upper body up. And he might not even be noticing the large welt that's developing on Kulu's leg.
Well, the message has come out from Kulu's corner to start boxing. Use their hands a lot more. There's the turning kick.
That was a good turning kick by Ken. It wasn't as effective as he would have liked it to have been, but it works in wearing the work in the body.
What about those as tactics, Dale, to box on a little more here from the corner coming through from Kulu?
What he should be doing right now is blocking those kicks and then sandboxing. The best defense against a low kick is to jam the kick, stop the kick, and then come down with the right hand really hard.
Oh, he's copping pretty Kulu at the moment. There's a good left lead. Here in round number 6.
And he's really favoring that lead leg. His left leg is swollen, sore. He's having a hard time putting any weight on it.
End of round number 6, and a good action there, and a good round for the Japanese.
So you can see the leg there.
Look at that leg. It's a mess, isn't it?
Now his corner is applying ice to try and keep the swelling down, but unfortunately in a blow like that, the bleeding is from the inside, and it really starts to hurt after a while.
Good redraft from the Japanese. Now he's on the, look at this.
He's on the attack there. He smells victory.
Holding in now on the bad leg of Rick Kulu is the Japanese. He did cop a solid left there from Kulu, who let one fly.
Oh no, Rick Kulu's got no power in his punches now. The lead leg's taken everything out of him. They should stop this right now.
He should at least get an 8 count for the leg, the way the situation that it's in right now.
Kin's still working hard on that leg there. As you can see, he's honing in on it.
There's no points for being a gladiator. I mean, Rick Kulu, look, he'll keep fighting for another 12 wins if he made him.
At least he's trying to bring his leg up.
Yeah, he should think about stopping this.
That's pretty strong stuff from Taiei Kin.
Right through the lead leg back to the back leg. Kin has worked on Kulu's leg so much that Kulu has no power. He can't brace himself to throw a punch.
With Kulu turning with Johnny Lewis. Good shot there.
Look at the expression on Kulu's face. There's a wall.
The Japanese Kin coming in now, but Kulu wants credit. Trying the left shot in there. But it's all the Japanese at this stage. The referee calling break.
It doesn't seem like the referee is even aware that Kulu's leg is changed.
Looking up all the time. He's looking high. Oh no, he's looking down.
He's looked down a couple of times. I think the referee is aware.
But it's very hard to stop that from the referee's point of view because they're world-class fighters, and Rick Kulu is still taking the fight up. I mean, he's still doing things.
Well, he's still delivering punches, isn't he? And he's still on his feet. He's handling the situation as the bell ends for round number 7. Let's have a look at some of the action of round number 7. This is the early part of that round. And there's the right turning kick to the head there of Kulu. Good one there from Taiei Kin.
Kulu definitely got the heart of a warrior. He's hanging in there right to the very end. Now there's always that chance, as we were talking about earlier. There's always that chance that Kulu could get in a right hand, an overhand right.
When you look at Kulu's face, you think it was the first or second round.
Yeah, it's not the first or second round. This is the final round of this contest between Rick Kulu and Taiei Kin.
Come on.
Both boxers on the ropes and being told to box in center ring.
Well, I'll tell you, if Rick Kulu drinks after this bout, he's going to be doing a lot of tuis and a big bag of ice on his leg.
Solid right turning kick there for the Japanese. Been a very entertaining cruiserweight matchup. This one between Rick Kulu and Taiei Kin.
And Taiei Kin looking more like a middleweight or a super middleweight than a cruiserweight.
He's handled himself very well.
Very well. He's very confident. Powerful kicks, as you just saw by that one to the head.
He looks pretty fit too. He's going up a few rounds, I would think. That right turning kick comes in again on Kulu, who's just about had enough of this, I think.
Kin surprisingly, normally the Japanese fighters only go 5 rounds. But bearing in mind those are 5 3-minute rounds, and this is an 8 2-minute round bout, so
Pretty much the same. Different moving point after round 5. I noticed him actually before on round 6 and 7. He was actually looking at the rounds. He's never seen those numbers before.
Solid exchange of kicks there. A good side right hand there from the Japanese fighter, Taiei Kin. Good on Rick Kulu towards the end of this bout.
Taiei Kin well ahead on points at this.
And that is the end of the contest. Well, a very impressive performance, Bobby, I'm sure you'll agree. Bob Jones, and this guy's got some ability, hasn't he, Bob? And I think that he'll go on in this game. There's no question about that.
He's definitely made some fans here at the convention center at Darling Harbour.
Judge Jun Chan scores the fight 75-78. Willie Sulu scores the fight 74-78. Gary Sandlands scores the fight 75-79. Unanimous. In the blue corner, Kim.
In the blue corner, with the yellow trunk with the black string, weighing in at 81.75 kilos, a record of 8 wins, 4 losses. From Japan, Toshiyuki, Atakawa. And in the red corner, the homegrown talent from Adelaide at 88.15 kilos, 12 wins, 1 losses, black and gold trim, the cruiserweight champion of Australia, John Hedgecock.
This should be a very interesting contest, this one. Darth Lloyd, the president of the WKO, is with us once again in commentary.
Well, one thing that's very interesting, I've seen Atakawa fight twice in Tokyo, and he's got a very deceptive record. 8-4 doesn't really tell the whole story. 2 of those 4 losses were to very formidable opponents. One of them, Stan the Man Longinidis, the WK Super Heavyweight Champion. The other one to Maurice Smith, the WK Heavyweight Champion.
Chaniotis, the boy from South Australia, putting his skills against Japanese Toshiyuki and wow, leaves him under the tongue twister, but he gets there. A turning kick there from both fighters.
Now, to Atakawa's credit, he went the distance with with Maurice Smith, and Maurice Smith couldn't put him away. So he's a very tough customer.
Maurice Smith couldn't put the Japanese away.
Couldn't put him away. I mean, he had him in trouble. Maurice Smith won every round, but this kid's got a lot of heart, and Smith couldn't put him away.
He must be very, very tough this time, the yellow shirts.
One thing about Atakawa that I've noticed in his other fights as well is that he's got better hand technique than most of the karate-style fighters.
On the body of John Chaniotis from South Australia in this cruiserweight bout. This is Central Kuwait, and 2-minute rounds with the bell sounds for the end of the first round.
I would say it's pretty even at this point. What do you think, Bob?
I think the Japanese fighter was a little bit busier and probably took the points. I think the judges probably would have went 10-9 for a slight win to the Japanese in that, because John Chaniotis was too intent on what we call building a wall. He was too defensive. He just stood there and floated the front foot, which is called building a wall. It's a Thai boxing influence, and he just didn't do enough. He didn't come out from behind the wall. John Chaniotis, to me, is a fighter that needs to have a little more equipment when he attacks. You see him getting this round, quite intent on defending, but he's one tough customer. We've got him in the world ratings as a cruiserweight, and the KO. Look at his toughness, and he can really just hang in there with the rest of them.
Got promoted against Atakawa from Japan.
And he can definitely put up a good defense there.
Good shot too from Atakawa. Stalking each other out in the middle of the second round. Plenty of kicks going in.
Right, this one is a kickboxing event, isn't it? The hands are hold right back, both loading the legs.
Only second at the moment, the gloves. Turning kick there from Chaniotis.
Your description of the Thai style of building the wall, Chaniotis has got that down pat.
In the second round, Atakawa going along pretty well, isn't he, down at this stage after the second round?
I'd say Atakawa's in the lead at this point, just because he's more aggressive and he's busier.
He's going to have to come out from behind the wall. He can't keep up the points in the back leg for the whole fight and score a lot of points doing it.
He seems to be content to sit back and just try to block the blow. He's not getting ahead on points doing that.
A turning kick going in there from Atakawa. Quite his feet into this stage as the right cross comes through there and a good solid
Good combination.
Yeah, that was a good combination there from Chaniotis. Phased Atakawa just momentarily there.
Well, this could be part of Chaniotis' plan. That didn't fit into his plan very well. But this could be part of his plan possibly to see what Atakawa has and just keep defensive for the first few rounds and then start scoring. Chaniotis is holding his own here, but he's not doing enough to take the round. He's got to work harder.
Atakawa pretty busy. Just keeping the distance for each other. Turning kick there. Atakawa went underneath. Shot there from Chaniotis.
And looking at Atakawa, he does look like he's even a few kilos lighter than Chaniotis.
Yeah, goes down to the end of round 3.
As we've said, Johnny Chaniotis has got that Thai boxing principle of getting in behind the wall, but you've got to come out and attack to get the points. You can't just sit in and protect yourself. Plus he's getting caught now because he's not doing enough to confuse his Japanese opponent, which is allowing the Japanese to take advantage of that and start scoring.
Just take a look at this, Bob. What happened here was basically one that caught him on the back of the leg there, and he fell over at the end of that third round. Back to business here in round number 4. Turning kick there. Tall there, the Japanese fighter slipping over. Bob, does he catch up as a slip or does he actually kick out? That was just a slip again.
The referee is obligated to count. If he feels it's a knockdown with a kick, he's obligated to do a 3 to 8 count. Well, 3's only, you're doing 8 count here.
8 count over, that's right. They're close to the end of round number 4. Not a lot of handwork here between these two guys. Pretty well they're all kicking, and I guess the best of the exchanges in this round, maybe for the South Australia. That's the end of round number 4 and a good round 2. Both fighters being cut.
Now this round will determine whether this was Chaniotis' plan all along.
That's what's going to happen now. So hold on. Chaniotis should come up that back leg and start working on the forward leg, but he's still bouncing that front foot at this point. Well, the round's just begun. But he's got to come off that back leg and start coming on the forward leg. Putting more weight on the forward leg and getting his body moving forward. He's sitting back too much on the rear leg.
That was a good move by Chaniotis. I've never seen one quite like that before.
Atakawa and Chaniotis doing their business here in this cruiserweight.
I can see right there Atakawa wanted to grab his head and throw a knee into Chaniotis' body.
That's what the referee was just warning for in the earlier part of this round. Recently, he's warned Atakawa for grabbing around the neck. You can see the Japanese fighter let the knee down. But that John Hunt tonight, they haven't broken the rules at all.
Both fighters unclean. Oh, that was an intentional head fight by Chaniotis.
The referee will sort this out. Okay, referee deducting a point there from Chaniotis for using the head intentionally there. It doesn't do his call.
No, that 1 point off from Chaniotis could have lost him the fight.
But the referee saw it differently. He's a lot closer than us, so perhaps that's the way it went down.
Well, he was pretty quick in to adjudicate on it, so...
and he was very positive too. He made a very positive decision.
He was. We might have a look at that on replay. Here it comes, Bob. And it was a bit hard to tell from that replay, wasn't it, whether it was in action or whether it was an intentional...
No, that was a definite foul.
Chaniotis. Bell sounds for round 6. Urgent in round number 6 between these two guys.
Excellent. He left out.
Slip there from Atakawa.
I think there's a problem with the paint on the Kulu's logo. When water gets on it, I think it becomes very slippery.
Plenty of power in that right turning kick there. Atakawa, who's gone the distance with Boris Smith and also performed credibly against Stan the Man up against John Chaniotis from South Australia here in cruiserweight, and Chaniotis running loose with a couple of good shots there, has the Japanese in trouble.
The Japanese is very, very good at tying up Chaniotis and tying him out.
It's a rugged-looking fighter, isn't he, Chaniotis? He's all legs and gloves, they go from everywhere. Not a real stylist of the sport, but he gets up there and he really means business.
He looks like a workman.
He's been warned again, no points off though. He was warned again by the referee. He's been pretty closely fixed on this contest.
At this point, Chaniotis should be fighting from the outside and not letting Atakawa tie him up.
He's moving now. He's doing more. He's attacking.
That's it. Forget it.
He's been just
Talk us through that one.
well, the referee had given him one warning. He'd taken the 3 point for each judge off, and I personally ref a lot of fights myself. I probably would have done the same thing. It's at that taking another point off from each judge, he would have lost the fight anyway. So he's I think that's a good call on his part.
All right, well there it is. So it's all over, and the referee explaining to Atakawa that it's all over. He doesn't realise that it's over, but it is. It's finished, right? You can go back to your corner now, take your gloves off.
And definitely, that was an intentional foul on Sean.
The referee calling up to get it. It's all over.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a middleweight bout, 8 2-minute rounds. Introducing first, out of the red corner, wearing gold with a purple trim. Scaling in at 72.45 kilograms or 154.4 pounds. Record 12 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, 5 by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, from South of Australia, Tony Lapia. Fighting out of the blue corner, truly, simply the best. Scaling in at 72.1 kilograms or 158.6 pounds, hailing from Victoria, Australia. His top wicket is 1 draw, 12 by way of KO. Ladies and gentlemen, the world super welterweight champion, Darren the Destroyer Hedgecock.
I'm looking forward to seeing this one. Apparently these two have fought 2 years ago, and they fought to a draw. Since that time, Darren has won a World Muay Thai Championship through the WKA. And Bob, you know more about Darren Hedgecock than anybody.
I followed Darren's career since the beginning. He started fighting for the WKA with his uncle, Dave Hedgecock, who was one of the first pioneers of WKA kickboxing going back 20 years ago when he fought overseas. He was the first Australian fighter to go overseas. That's the trainer of Darren Hedgecock.
I've seen Dave fight on tape, and Dave Hedgecock was a legend himself.
I think the big thing about this is it's not so much a grudge match, but the boys want to settle the score. They fought 2 years ago, and it was a war and a draw.
And them the more active of the two, right?
They've both been fairly active, but Darren's had more international fights than Tony Lapia. Tony's been fighting locally, and Darren's fought almost exclusively overseas fighters.
First of 8 rounds here, middleweight contest. Darren
Powerful kicks by Darren Hedgecock. Wouldn't want to get hit by one of those.
Hedgecock. Got a power behind that overhead kick.
I think that both fighters look like they respect each other quite a bit here, don't they?
I think that's because of the last fight being a draw, and both of them have to win tonight. Both of them have to win tonight to settle the score. So there will no hold fast.
One advantage that Hedgecock would have is that Lapia hasn't seen any of his most recent fights, and Hedgecock's seen most of Lapia's, right?
Yeah, and the other thing, although there's one problem Darren will have the same with the overseas Japanese fighters, he's been fighting with elbows and knees. So to come back down and only use 4 weapons instead of 8, that's going to restrict him slightly tonight. But he's been boxing as well, so he's been giving away 6 weapons and doing quite well in Western boxing.
I understood he fought the WBC Australian champion.
In his first boxing fight, he became a draw. That's about a month ago here in Australia.
The first boxing fight, that is
Into the first round there, and well, it's interesting to see both of those guys just sort each other out in round number 1.
Well, it looked like a repeat of their first match together 2 years ago. It looked that first round was a draw.
Against the boys, not only kick and switch inside left.
Work inside.
I think that's good advice by Dave Hedgecock.
Almost every top fighter in Australia has trained under Dave Hedgecock at some time in their career. Stan the Man was extensively trained by Dave Hedgecock.
Well, that'll be interesting.
Tosca Petridis was extensively trained by Dave Hedgecock. So all the most famous fighters in this country in the last 10 years have also done some kind of training under Dave Hedgecock.
I'll talk to Maurice. Wow, there you see Darren Hedgecock coming on strong there.
Showing some of his boxing skills. He's been sparring with Jeff Bennick and Craig Trotter, and also Zoo. He's been sparring with him recently, so he's been holding his own with some of the better boxers in the country.
Well, it's definitely about the best sparring he could get.
Well, you can't get any better names than that, can you? Costa Zoo at the moment is absolutely killing it right around the world as we focus in on Hedgecock and Lapia here on the ropes. Lapia after Hedgecock.
Lapia is aggressive and he's coming on strong, but it looks to me like Hedgecock is just a little bit slipperier and a little bit craftier.
Number 2. Darren, the destroyer Hedgecock, the world super welterweight champion. Anthony Lapia, the Australian super welterweight champion.
Both these fighters look very well matched even now. They fought to a draw 2 years ago, and at this point it still looks like it's a draw.
Won the title in Hong Kong in February this year. 24 years of age, Darren Hedgecock. Powerhouse in the ring. Throwing the left turning kick.
Good combinations that Hedgecock is putting together there.
Full of sounds for the end of the second round. Right, well, there's the corner men working on Tony Lapia. Tony Lapia, of course, won his first professional title in 1989 after fighting undefeated as an amateur. So he's certainly got some ability for him.
Yeah, I've never seen Lapia fight before, so I'm quite impressed with this showing here. I've seen Darren Hedgecock fight before, and he's one of my favorite fighters. He's proved himself to be a truly international champion.
Anthony Lapia has got very strong legs, doesn't he?
He does. Big legs.
Compared to his upper body, he's the to look at his upper body, he looks more like a welterweight. So you look down his legs and
He looks like a middleweight.
he looks like a middleweight.
Exchange. Both fighters. Hedgecock coming with that right hand. Both fighters trading blow for blow, and I've still got it a draw. How do you see it, Bob?
Yeah, there's not much in it. It's hard for me because I'm so close to Darren. I'm sort of looking at him more than I'm looking at Tony.
Well, Bob, you've got to be able to see that Darren's leading leg there. It's got a work or two on it, hasn't it?
He's been getting caught because it could be a problem with the boxing and coming from elbows and knees fighting back to the rules tonight, but that's not really an excuse because it shouldn't be happening. He should be checking. He should be catching those kicks on the shin. He's wearing it on the collar. It could be because he's done so well in boxing recently that he's trying to get his hands working, but he's taking some punches with that lead leg. I'd like to see him turning his shin out more and catching some of those tiny Lapia kicks.
Well, sounds for the end of round 3, Lapia versus Hedgecock.
When you're in the fight, you're winning. Okay, when you stop and you didn't come back at you, he's coming back at you. You're tippy-touching you and flipping really a kick on each side.
He's always on the defence was the word that was coming through, and keep attacking.
It looks like Hedgecock is just a little bit frustrated by Lapia.
Trying to find a rhythm now in round number 4. Hedgecock against Lapia, and he's a good right hand to the head. And Hedgecock chases him across the ring. Keep working Lapia on Hedgecock.
Lapia is very good at blocking the low kicks, and you have to be
He's very intent to sit behind the wall too, so
showed some good defence there.
it's going. It's very even, I think.
I've got it dead even. I've got it dead even right now, and it's almost like blow for blow.
Yeah, one goes in from one, and anything you can do out and do better is basically the policy adopted by both of these guys.
It's almost like they're a mirror image of each other.
Yeah.
Good front kick from Lapia. That's a hard one to do, is to connect with the chin. Excellent combination by Hedgecock.
Also works out with Craig Pearson too. So he certainly has plenty of good sparring partners, Hedgecock.
He's been starting to work with Toshiyuki and up to recently with Jeff Bennick, Craig Trotter, so he's working with all the better Australian boxers.
As the bell sounds for the end of the 4th round, and we've got just about square.
I still got it dead even, and you know the thing was, it's like these two are fighting a mirror image of each other. Lapia will throw something and Darren will counter with almost the same move back. Just right at the end of the last round there, Hedgecock threw a combination of punches and kicks that I think right there.
I think Lapia was more defensive during that round.
Yeah, I think Darren took it just on that last exchange.
And they're set to go for round number 5. Round 5 action here. Hedgecock starts with a left turning kick and
returned almost immediately by Lapia.
Yeah, Lapia comes straight in with a reply. Getting those left turning kicks up nice and high there, Hedgecock, but not a lot left in them when it gets to gets taken.
No, Lapia blocked that one quite easily. Bob, you've been watching Darren throughout his career, and it's got to be hard to go from Muay Thai boxing, which allows elbows and knees, to kickboxing, to boxing. It's with 3 different styles that all have their own idiosyncrasies. How do you think he's handling it?
Well, he was on what we call, what you'd understand most of all, the American rules. He was doing that for the first 6 years of his career. All his fights were American rules. But he wasn't getting enough fights. In Australia, he's got a level where there's not many Tony Lapias around. So to get fights, you have to start fighting more rules. And like you say, it's just, like I'm saying, it's just the first 12 months we've been doing this. And once you've done it a few more times, I think you'll get much better at it. There could be confusion going through his mind all night, but you can't take it away from Lapia. He's answering everything that's coming out. And if I was a judge, even though I might have just given down that last round, but on the final twos, I would give him.
I would have given him the last one just on the last exchange. That's how close it was. It was within just a few punches.
I think, when we look at the fight overall, it's a little bit like the South Australian style of John Chaniotis. Chaniotis all comes to South Australia. He's also trying to sit back a bit and build the wall and make Darren make the initial moves.
Hedgecock scoring there with one punch, and then he got his leg caught there by Lapia, who held on, and as a result, Hedgecock hit the canvas.
That is an illegal move, by the way.
No harm done there. Well, sounds to the end of the fifth.
I'd have to score that one as a draw again.
Pretty tight, this one.
This is Darren Hedgecock's first fight in New South Wales, and with the world market looking at us, I was hoping, because I've spent a lot of time training him, that he would look better tonight. But Lapia's answering, and he's making it a very even contest.
We'll take a look at some of the action on that previous round. Dale, you might like to have a look at this with us. This is one of those moves there, but Hedgecock coming with that right turning kick, and there's that.
Oh, actually, yeah, that looked like it just got caught in his arm. He didn't actually grab the leg, but some fighters will do that. Specifically Thai fighters, that you'll throw a roundhouse kick, they'll catch it and then punch you in the head while you're off balance.
If you can get away with it, eh?
If you can, and sometimes they can get it past the referee. The Thais are allowed to do it, that's part of their style, but under American rules and Australian rules, you're not allowed to grab the leg. And I'm not going to put my hand up and do some Thai boxing.
Continues here, roundhouse saw from
Very good counter to Tony Lapia, missing a kick, and Hedgecock took advantage of that and spun him with a very hard roundhouse kick.
round 6 action. 22 from Sydney, Australia. The Darling Harbour Convention Centre. Middleweight contest between Darren the Destroyer Hedgecock in the black shorts and Tony Lapia.
Lapia is catching down a bit inside that lead leg and is putting down off a bit, because I think Darren's getting with his hands. But everyone tries the other one counter.
Yeah, it's just fighting him there. Good block. Now that was a perfect example of how to block that kick to the leg. Lapia brought his leg up, turned his shin out, and rolled the kick by Hedgecock off his shin. Good front kick by Lapia.
I think the only I can think if I was judging, if I wasn't so close to Darren, it could be a while making this comment. But he is holding back a bit, and he only comes back after Darren does something. So some of the judges may be sitting down and slide edge there because he's the aggressor. He's coming in a little bit first, and Tony's answering, but he's waiting. He's letting Darren do a bit more work.
Punishment's already gone in there from Hedgecock. Lapia copying a good set of kicks there and a good left move too. Well on the ball at the end of the sixth.
Yeah, the only thing I'd like to mention again is that if Darren does take this fight, it could be that the judges have seen him to be more aggressive in the initial attack. So I guess it depends on how well Tony's countering, but Tony possibly is countering just a little bit too much.
The exciting things, Dale.
Well, it looks to me like Hedgecock is always first off the mark, and that Lapia is just countering, and that could weigh in Hedgecock's favor.
So he's down for round number 7.
Considering the three judges are sitting in the centre of the ring in opposition to us all around the ring, they're miles apart. If they come in with another draw after 2 years, and they've got no way of connecting to one another, they're all on opposite sides of the ring. And if another draw comes in, that's going to be quite incredible.
That will be interesting too, because as Bob mentioned earlier on, last time these guys fought, it was a draw, and 2 years later, could the same thing happen again? Keep working and come back to there.
I still think Darren Hedgecock is the better boxer of the two. He's getting in those left-right combinations just right on the button.
Kicking in this particular fight hasn't been consistent as we've seen earlier on in the evening.
But the kicks, the reason they don't look like that is the fact that it's being effectively blocked by both of the fighters.
I think this is a bit around for Darren. I think Darren's getting on it now. He's finding his spot, and he's going upstairs with the hands and downstairs with the legs. And he's just getting the edge, I think, on Lapia in this round.
Hedgecock starting to cog up a gear here in round number 7. That was a definite hold. Hedgecock knows it.
He's got back from Hong Kong. He was hanging on all night. You know, so that's right, you're up there. I shouldn't hang on. Now it's leveled back into the normal pace of the earlier rounds. They're drawing again, counting even on one another. I think Darren might have pinched the first third of this round.
Moving in on Hedgecock.
Lapia's a straight-on fighter, and Hedgecock's got great head movement when he's avoiding a lot of those punches.
I think Tony Lapia's decided it wouldn't be a good idea to match it with punching with Darren, so he's trying to keep in front on the kicks. That particular round ends in the red corner. We're in the ground on the set. Down Hedgecock looked disappointed then in the end of the round. He's used to fighting 3-minute rounds, and at 2 minutes, and you can see the look on his face. He thought it was a short round.
Yeah, he's probably thinking I could have done more in that round. Left side.
There's the bell, and away we go for the final round action here. Starting up at the Convention Centre in Sydney. Hedgecock starting off in pretty fine fashion with a left and right combination and plenty of kicks going in by both boxers.
I think both fighters' corners have told him, hey, this is really close. You've got to knock him out now to win this fight.
Yeah, looks like both boxers are in for that kill. Now that's a good solid kick there, that right turning kick there from Lapia. Hedgecock had his back turned on that one. Left kick. From the destroyer.
My bias is slowing me down from commenting too much, but I can see Darren. I'm looking at Darren, and I can see Darren scoring points this one, because we're counting against the judges from here. It'll be the judge's position coming in.
I think I have to agree with you, Bob. Darren is just, he's putting the combinations together better, whereas Lapia is just a one-off.
And he's always waiting. He just doesn't attack. He doesn't lead. He waits for Darren on every exchange. He waits and attacks afterwards. Except for that front kick. It's rare. Even 9 times out of 10, Darren is leading in. I think that may get him to the decision of the round.
There's no doubt he's got that, but he's got the better of this final round here, the destroyer, as he moved into some early competition. Set up a better a possible victory here.
It appears to me that the last 3 rounds, I think Darren's won the first third, and they're drawing in the remainder of the round.
We're drawing close to the end of this middleweight contest. Top one from Lapia there at the end of round number 8. There it is, folks. It's all over. And we'll have that decision in just a moment.
Both fighters really well matched here. Really, even I think Lapia can be proud of himself for even doing as well as he's done with the world championship.
We'll take a look at this replay of Lapia, who really let that left go.
Oh, that looked painful.
Great shot, wasn't it, from Tony Lapia?
And that'd score well too. I mean, a kick that strong to the head is the highest scoring point in this set of rules.
Then comes the battle decision. Jun Chan scored the fight 74-80. Judge Weena Lapuna scored the fight 75-78. Judge Gary Timonello scored the fight 75-79. Winner, unanimous, blue corner, Hedgecock. Ladies and gentlemen, we're down to this square, Hedgecock. Championship kickboxing, professional Commonwealth, welterweight title bout. Introducing first, out of the blue corner, scaled in at 66.6 kilograms, or 146.5 pounds. The current Queensland welterweight champion, former welterweight champion, South Pacific champion, South Pacific Super welterweight champion, and the current Commonwealth Super welterweight champion. Fight record 40 wins, 5 losses, 4 by KKO, kick, knockout, ladies and gentlemen, and 8 by way of knockout, Steve Super Kick Vick. And he's combating fighting out the red corner, standing at 66.35 kilograms, or 145.8 pounds. 26 fights, 90 wins, 4 losses, 3 by way of KO, 2 by kick knockout. As an amateur, was the recipient of 8 titles, 3 of those being Australasian, 1 Australian, 4 in 4 different weight divisions. As a professional, he is the current Australian welterweight champion, South Pacific welterweight champion, South Pacific Super welterweight champion from Winklerville, Sydney, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Pitbull Grima.
To me, my opinion of Steve Vick has gone up 100%. I thought he was a good fighter, a classy fighter, but I didn't know if he had the heart or not. He proved himself in that fight with Hector Pena that he's got what it takes.
The Pitbull Grima has been very busy fighting in New South Wales. He's had a lot of fights recently. He looks very determined. He looks like he's trained and he's here to win. I wouldn't let the haircut fool us.
Shake hands. Shake hands. Best of luck to both of you. Okay? Good boys.
Okay, Billy Miles, giving the boxers their instructions there. Pretty quick, clean cut about that. Let's get it on, he said. Make it a good, clean fight. And the Karate Kid versus the Pitbull. Bell sounds for the first round, and here we go. This will be a good contest, this one, for the championship. Well, they're mixing it early in the first round here. Grima. Vick getting away there, some trouble.
Vick is known for his kicking abilities, and apparently after his last fight with Pena, he lost because of his, his box deficiency and boxing abilities. He looks like he's working on his boxing since then.
Nice check by Pitbull. Yeah, good blocking from Pitbull. Very good blocking indeed there. Stop those 2 kicks coming through there from Vick.
It's a nice classy first round, but unfortunately he got it into a war as it goes. But it's a very classy first round.
Fox is looking pretty smart early. Left turning kick there from Steve Vick.
There's a comment down Hedgecock was making at the end of that last fight. They've been 2 fighting for very good defence in similar styles. They should go to check. But this is more like a war because both styles are completely opposite, which allows both fighters to really open up and use a lot more weapons on one another.
We saw 3 very good right hands going in there from Steve Vick. He seems to be the aggressor in this early part of the round. There, and a slip from Vick. Well, it would be right to say Dale Floyd, that this young Vick character from Queensland certainly was the aggressor in that early part of that round.
Yeah, and especially at putting his combinations together, the fact that he could put in a couple of punches and then follow up right away with a roundhouse kick to the body. Very impressive. Pitbull, he earning his nickname. He was in there and not backing down, just like a Pitbull.
Well, this is a better fight for the world market, Dale. This is what people around the world are wanting to see. 79 countries looking at the action for the World Kickboxing Association fights here down under in Australia, beaming out to 39 different countries. And I was explaining earlier about Darren mentioning when fighters are similar with tight defence, you get a game of chess, but it's still a good strategy fight. But this fight is totally exciting.
I think for the other countries in the world that are watching this fight, it's a good venue for these fighters to show what the Australian kickboxers are all about, what they can do.
Well, Vick getting pretty busy on Grima at the moment, and he's letting go with the left front kick there, and it was a beauty too. Vick still the aggressor here over Grima, who is finding it difficult to find his mark against Steve Vick.
He's not backing down at all. He just keeps his head in there and keeps down, and is still the aggressor.
Paul Grima, the South Pacific Super Welterweight Champion. And the South Pacific Welterweight Champion put up against Steve Super Kick Vick, and he's got a super kick all right. The Commonwealth Super Welterweight Champion there. Fighting this one out for the Commonwealth Welterweight title, the vacant title. And it's a real battle at the moment between these two.
This is the kind of fight battle which is here for Japanese fighters or Dutch fighters, American or English. They watch this around the world, they say, do I fight these two guys? I think I can think of something better to do.
Well, tell me about the condition of this guy, Football Grima. How's it holding up, Bobby Jones? You look a bit tired then.
I think Steve Vick has got superior strength here. So far he goes down. The picture is showing
He's showing signs of strain, isn't he? Definite stretch there at the end of the second round. How did you have the first round, Dale Floyd?
Oh, I definitely,
the first couple of rounds.
A couple of rounds. I've got Steve Vick ahead. It looks to me like Paul Grima might have overtrained, and a lot of times this is a mistake that many fighters make. It's worse to overtrain than it is to undertrain, and he's showing the signs of strain. He's showing that he's showing a bit of tiredness there. Oh, excellent right hand, just showing Steve Vick the power. He seems to be stronger than Grima, following up, putting the combinations together well.
Okay, this is round number 3 action from the Darling Harbour Convention Centre in Sydney, Australia. And Paul Grima and Steve Vick starting this one out for the Commonwealth Welterweight title. He's looking at Grima in the corner there. He can hardly stand up. He takes a solid shot there from Steve Vick. Grima's almost out of his feet by the looks of things.
He's in trouble there. I've wobbled him.
Well, I don't know about Paul Grima, and he's only gone 3 rounds of this. He looks at the referee and says, what's up? But we predicted at the end of the second round he wasn't looking terribly well. And he's up against this bundle of energy in Steve Vick. And that's right. That was a shot and a half there from Steve Super Kick Vick.
Grima looks like he's in trouble. He's taking too many shots to the head at this point.
Steve Vick's starting to bring those kicks up now too, and if one of those cats on the side of the head or the neck, it'll be good night. And that's what he likes to win with. He likes to do straight now, that's why they call him Super Kick.
That's the end of the third round. That was a classic round of kickboxing. Steve Vick gets the applause of a large crowd after the third.
It's amazing to see somebody, a kickboxer do moves that work in the movies. You keep telling your students, don't do those spinning kicks. Watch the high kicks. They look flashy.
Well, this is the one that really popped him in the end. It was more to the shoulder area, and
but it's still enough to knock the wind out of a fighter. When first of all, you get kicked in the chest, and then you get knocked down on your back.
People may have left a bit in the gym during the week.
It's very possible, and a lot of fighters do that. They're over-anxious. They train too hard for a fight.
And he's really pleased with the crowd now. He's got Steve Super Kick Vick. And he's trying now, really wanting to finish Grima off. Getting close to the end of round number 4. Hope you're enjoying the action coming to you from the Darling Harbour Convention Centre in Sydney, Australia. Kickboxing at its best, sanctioned by the WKA, and this is Grima versus Vick in the Commonwealth Welterweight title. End of round number 4, Billy Mail separates them, and a very good round once again for Steve Super Kick Vick.
4 rounds in a row for Steve Vick.
Well, Bobby Jones, a kickboxing expert and the godfather of kickboxing here in this country in Australia. Your impressions on this fight, Paul Grima, he's just out on his feet, isn't he?
But I'd like to see the interpretations of the Japanese audience right now, having a look at those Yakuza tattoo markings all over Paul Grima. Super Kick Vick's very marketable to the Japanese audience. I feel he's just been taken over by new management. He's being managed now by Silvio Morelli, who's an entrepreneur in the martial arts.
There's that beautiful kick there. What do you actually call that kick?
What would you
Spinning hook kick. Spinning hook kick. Well, I tell you what, whatever it's called, he's absolutely nailed it. It was a good shot and the crowd loved it.
That's we call a chopper. The spinning hook kick is something Bill Wallace made very famous, and Steve Vick pulls it off almost as good as Bill Wallace, if not better.
It's very unusual for modern kickboxers to use it too, because you have to be so good and so spot on.
Well, you got to be so quick too, don't you?
Very. It's the ultimate test of your skill level.
Steve Vick's quite a professional. He's putting on a show now. I wouldn't say that it's discredit to the pitbull, but he's putting on a show in as much as going for the spectacular kicks.
That's a kick followed by that front kick there from Steve Vick.
Something out from down under.
And now what it seems to be Steve Vick's trademark is that spinning hook kick.
It's nice to see we've got an Australian Manson Gibson for the world market.
The end of that round and another classic round there for Steve Super Kick with double ground fight. And what they were telling Grima at the moment, Bob, would you suggest?
They'd be telling Grima he's going to have to dig deep and really load something up. He's going to have to dig deep and really load something up and catch Steve Vick with it, but the way Steve Vick's fighting now...
Well, Darren, let's have a look at this replay now. This is the big roundhouse kick delivered there by the super kick. This is a top shot, isn't it?
That's that spinning hook kick. That's the spinning hook kick with the heel coming right around. If that's on the jaw, that's a knockout kick.
And you got to remember that the foot is not covered by any type of padding, so give credit to Paul Grima for being able to take a shot like that and still be standing.
We said he was tough when we started, and he's certainly putting on a tough exhibition now. But he's allowing Steve Vick to put on a little movie role for us. He's going to have to have a look for a spot, and he's going to have to load something and hit Steve Vick with it as hard as he can to try and turn this back up in the direction.
The only way he can win at this point is that they can knock out Steve Vick. To give Paul Grima credit, he could very well pull it off. You never know. There's always that chance.
There's always a chance of him pulling it off, but he's going to have to do something remarkable to take it away from Steve Vick at this stage. Vick with a big right foot there. Nice turn. Left front kick. Left jab. Working well, Vick. Under the body of Vick goes right. Coming in there from Vick. Trying to basically just standing there and taking it all.
That's all right. Come on.
Two good shots there. Right front kicks from Super Kick Vick. He's got plenty of punishment.
It's amazing the punishment that Paul Grima has taken. Your heart's got to go out to the guy just for his
nature in the ring. He basically just keeps his low profile and difficult to work out whether he's really hurt or whether he's only kidding. But I tell you what, he's got plenty of punishment.
No, he's wearing a storm now.
There goes the bell for the end of the sixth round. Steve Vick works confidently over to his turn.
Paul Grima shaking his head as he goes through his corner.
Well, it's a good contest, this one. Even though it may be one-sided, still plenty of action for the fans to enjoy. And Bob Jones, what sort of future is this guy Super Kick Vick got? I mean, he could do anything, couldn't he?
He's a natural for Las Vegas. He's definitely a natural for Tokyo, Japan, for Mr. Ishii. And I think the Europeans would like him because besides his prettiness, I mean, his technique of fighting, he also has a severe toughness.
Well, that's it. They've thrown in the towel. He can't.
to South Africa, Turkey, Hong Kong, Malaysia, England, Germany, and all the other nations receiving tonight's events. And of course, the fantastic in-house crowd here at the Sydney Convention Centre. The WKA, World Kickboxing Association World Super Heavyweight title. The referee is Billy Males. The judges are Grima, June Chan, and Gary Carmelo. The doctor in attendance is Dr. Lou Lewis. The challenger in the red corner, weighing in at 92.1 kilos, from Liverpool, England. 24 knockout 19 in the first round, Gary And ladies and gentlemen, the champion, the World Kickboxing Association, Super Heavyweight Champion of the world, 92.2 kilos, a record 29-1 and 1 from Melbourne, Australia. He's awesome, he's the man, Longinidis!
Well, it's for the super heavyweight title of the world. The super heavyweight title up for grabs here. Stand the man Longinidis, who is looking pretty fit.
Dan the man's biggest problem in the sport right now is to find opponents that will fight him, that will challenge him for his title. He's had two fighters pull out for this one. The first one was Santiago Garza, who was his first professional fight. He fought to a draw with him, and Santiago, he wanted to even the score with Santiago Garza. Unfortunately, Santiago pulled out, and then Grant Barker was injured.
Best of luck. Billy Miles there to Gary Sandlands and Stand the man Longinidis. We're set here, folks, for what should be a ripper of a clash. Stan looks up to the skies and there's a silent prayer. Gary Sandlands, European champion, with a remarkable record.
Both of these fighters incredibly fast starters. Both of them have a really high first round knockout rate. The difference in the two fighters is Gary Sandlands has had so many first round knockouts, he's never been over 5 rounds. Stan has gone the distance on many occasions.
Starting off at a pretty fair pace. Sandlands standing up to Longinidis. Sandlands doesn't look intimidated at all, and he's really trying to mix it up.
Not at all. But as I said earlier, he's not a pretty fighter, but he's strong, he's powerful.
He's here to do business, Sandlands. There's no question about that. He's not overawed by Stand the man Longinidis at this point in time. Anyway, it's only been a very early start to, or a very quick start of the early part of round number 1. That was a pretty power,
Yeah, surprise knockdown there. You got to wonder about with all the opponent changes. You got to wonder if that plays any part in the psychological warfare of this bout. Well, Stan's been up. This is his third opponent in the same fight.
Well, Sandland coming in there with the right hand. Longinidis in the neutral corner.
I think Stan's too professional for that. I'd like to say, Darren, we don't know when you're planning for one kind of fighter. I know it upset Darren more than Stan, because Darren was the trainer. It would upset him a lot more. But it must affect Stan to a degree of having a 2 opponent change in 3 weeks.
One thing about Stan Longinidis is he's very versatile.
Goes up to Stanley. Gary Sandlands, to his credit, stepped right up to Longinidis in this first round. There goes the bell for the end of the first round.
Well, he can't feel bad because he's got my short on. All the way from England, he's got DJC shorts on.
And there, just getting a breather between rounds 1 and 2. This is scheduled for 12 2-minuters. And what do you think of the performance of Sandland in the first round there, Dale?
It was. I think Stan the man's biggest nightmare is fighting awkward fighters, and I think Gary holds up to his name on that one. He's an awkward style for Stan to keep up to. I was surprised by that flash knockdown with the leg kick. I think that caught him off more off balance than anything.
Well, here's the replay.
Oh yeah, he was definitely off balance. He had one leg in the air there, so I wouldn't really even count that as a serious knockdown.
He's getting pretty solid legs there on Stan Longinidis. In fact, it's caused a bleeding on the shin of the English fighter. He's bleeding.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Quite heavy from that kick that he laid on Stan.
Yes, spot on there. There it is there, folks. As you can see, plenty of blood trickling down there from the shin bone of Sandland as he goes with the right turning kick again on Longinidis.
Boy, both these fighters are extremely powerful. Just watching that left hook that Stan threw, that would, any normal person that would have blocked them.
If he's the slightest bit intimidated by Stan at this point in time, he's still hiding it very, very well. I imagine he'd have to be coming on a week and a half notice, and the incredible reputation of Stan Longinidis has got.
He's connecting with the left hook.
Turning kick from Longinidis.
Now one thing Stanley's got going for him is he's tough. He can take a punch. Stan's rattled him, hit him with a couple that would have hurt anybody.
Good one. Australia's only first ever world champion.
Stan's still finding his timing difficult, and that's what you said, Bales. English boy is such an awkward fighter. I'm looking at Stan, he doesn't normally throw kicks like that miss by 6 inches. He normally throws and connects.
Yeah, and I can see that their styles differ.
He does an awful lot.
Stan just caught him with another, Stan the man just caught him with a left hook, and that definitely woke up Gary Sandlands.
Yeah, you can see blood trickling. Good shot there from Atakawa. He was just waiting to hear with Longinidis. It's the count now for Sandland, but he gets up.
I think this is it. I'm just looking at Sandland's face as he got up.
Longinidis in for the kill now on Gary Sandland. Sandland tries up the right. Longinidis with the right arm again. Sandland looking over to his corner. He's on his haunches. Is he going to get up? Yes, he's back on his feet again. Knocked down twice.
This isn't going to go the distance.
Stand the man, Longinidis doing his business now on Gary Sandland, who trips over again. And saved by the bell there. He'll take a breather now. At the end of the second round, he went down twice in the second.
It just took Stan the man being as ring smart as he is. It just took him the first round just to figure out where to place that punch or the kick, and he placed it perfectly. A left hook right to the side of Gary Sandland's head.
It was just the first half of that round I was explaining about his timing still was being a little bit out, but towards the end of that round, Stan the man Longinidis had everything on the button.
He found his mark, and he hates fighting awkward fighters. He told me that earlier, that's the only thing that he hates in a fighter is being awkward, and that's bang, that's it. I would say that's a trademark Stan Longinidis left hook.
It was nice and quick, wasn't it? And this one even was quicker. You could just see the left hand going through there, and there's the telling blow.
That was
Two lefts. Sandland is out though, and ready to continue for round number 3.
giving Sandlands credit. I think any other man wouldn't have come out for the third belt.
Well, he winked at one of his corner men and said, no, I'm all right. He's back out for the fight in the third round. He looks okay. He looks pretty well with it. He's certainly come all the way from England to put on a fight. He's not here for a haircut, is he?
Okay, Stan's found his mark now. I think he knows he's in control of the fight. He's just waiting for an opening. Stan Longinidis is a very popular fighter in Japan. As well as you guys know, he's very popular in Australia and in the United States as well.
He's working on the body there of Longinidis. Sorry, Darren.
It'll be interesting if Gary Sandlands will want to take the rematch in London. He'll have more time to train and be fighting in front of his own home crowd. It'll be interesting after the treatment he's got from the Stan man right now, if he'll go ahead with that rematch that Stan has promised him and give Stan a chance to be promoted in England. So the England
There for Longinidis. It's on now between these two. Longinidis coming in on the third round.
Longinidis has his timing down now. It's, I'd say it's spot on.
He means business with Stan there for the big shot, and onto the canvas goes Sandlands. It's all over. It's all over. The world super heavyweight title has gone to Stan the Man Longinidis.
He keeps his title, and well-deserved title defense there for Stan the Man Longinidis.
Stan the Man has done it. Defending his title against Gary Sandlands in the third round knockout. Gary Sandlands still on his horses, not able to get up after that crushing blow there from Stan the Man Longinidis. And Dale Floyd, that was a great knockout punch that was always going to come when it came to the third round.
Well, this is the first time ever that Gary Sandlands has been on the mat. It's the first time ever he's lost in his life. I think he's going to stop and reassess his fight career here. And as Bob was saying earlier, I really wonder if Gary is going to take the rematch here that Stan has offered him.
This is where it'll happen. Big right hand there, and Sandland had no answer to that. And all he could do was hit the canvas, and it was all over. Billy Mail waved it off.
And a good call by Billy Mails. I don't think there was any point in